The definition of recruitment as all activities directed towards locating potential employees, stimulating interest from suitable candidates. Us as a HR company, we pride ourselves on our recruitment skills and our approach to recruiting the right people for your establishment. When recruiting, we open up many opportunities for your company to be seen and heard for future employees. For example, job fairs, as advertising online, and going to student fairs. And then after, we narrow down the best possible possible candidates, and then we'll send you their candidate profile from that from a HR company, and you as a recruiter, as we can conduct interviews and employ best people for your company and your current job criteria. When selecting the best candidate for the right job, you have to take into consideration the variability, the skills that they offer to you, basically for you and the team, as a time scale they will work for you, and the different skills that they will offer to the team and work as well as the team also. HR will support you and the business within the recruitment process and the selection process. When selecting the candidates, you can use the aptitude and the ability tests to see the skills and knowledge, and they can give the business when selecting the best candidate for the right job, you have to take into consideration the variability, the skills that they offer to you, basically for you and the team, as a time scale they will work for you, and the different skills that they will offer to the team and work as well as the team also. HR will support you and the business within the recruitment process and the selection process. When selecting the candidates, you can use the aptitude and the ability tests to see the skills and knowledge, and they can give the business A good, effective recruitment and selection methods will impact on the organisations, as it will give a good public image and increasing productivity and performance.
HR is carrying out people-oriented organization activities. One, it helps to serve the modern business more effectively than the traditional personnel management. The history of HR has traveled back to 1970s. HR coexistence within the business, whether it be a small business or on a company big scale. The journey started from personal administration, where tasks are transitional and menial. Then personnel management to human resource management, where it's starting to evolve and employees are seen more as a resource than a cost center. And with the most current service, people management. All these changes has been proven successfully in driving the company in a positive aspect of managing the people well in the workplace. What HR does beside recruitment and selection and employee contracts, employment terms, condition and dismissal is the only segment of HR concept. HR function deals with a wider range of people management, such as the career structures, promotion, employees' welfare, employees' development, and personal assessment. These structures are designed for an employee to grow within the business and for them not to only be seen as a commodity but as a resource and an efficient part of the structure of the business. Differing the HR delivery models, structures, and relation within organization. The delivery models, how an HR is delivered, varies in the model of the organization. This can vary from which sector, industry, locality, and the size of the business is operating. The different approaches of HR are the following. Outsourcing. It allows the company to have a flexibility to shift their focus on the other aspect of the business to gain access to the best HR teams. The outsourced HR team will take care of the payroll, staff benefits, reviewing CVs, training, hiring, and including legal expertise. This will improve the business decision-making and recruitment and selection. The downside of outsourcing is lack of communication, as the HR team might be across the country and it can be difficult to oversee the company's objectives. In-house. Having an in-house HR will give the business more control on HR tasks such as payroll, recruitment, training, development, and retention of staff. HR consultancy are the specialists that can implement general and specialized advice based on what the business needs. They hired to design, analyze, and evaluate HR activities to assess strategies and analyze the operational level of the business. Comprehensive HR information system that enable non-HR and managers to undertake a number of HR-related activities via a portal of intranet. For example, update personal records, completed performance records, and apply training. This is the employee self-service and management self-service. The internal structure of HR can be divided into a specialized function. HR manager in charge of the HR as a whole. Information flows from her to each lead of the specialized function and vice versa. Recruitment is the unit for staffing, which will fill vacancies in the organization. Training and development, the unit that will develop and implement the program of the continuous education and training for the employees. Employee relation, the unit where the employees can go to their concerns. This is the unit that will listen to the address complaints and take an appropriate action. Employee relation, the unit where employees can go to their concern. The unit will listen to and address the complaints and take the appropriate action. Compensation and benefits, these units will handle payroll and recommendation and administration of compensation and benefit system to the employees. The health and safety, this is the responsible for researching development and health and safety policies. They will also need to ensure that the organization is in the compliance to all the laws concerning the health and safety.
Hi guys, today I'll be focusing on equality and diversity in recruitment and selection. In recruitment and selection, equality and diversity is a very important role that carries out in the companies. This guarantees fairness for the employees that will be hired based on their skills and ability to do the role of the company requires. This lets the employers stay on a track within the law requirements in the company. Based on the Equality Act, 2010 must be followed because it protects people in employment from discrimination, victimization, harassment, and other provision that protects their characteristics like disability, gender reassignment, marriages, civilized partnership, pregnancy and maternity, race, religion and beliefs, sexual, gender, and age. If your company do not follow these acts, there can be serious law action taken against them. To ensure that these acts don't affect both employers and hired staff in the company, they must create a diverse team that will showcase and help others not to repeat upon those acts in human resource department. These diverse practices must be kept up because it will show growth, productivity in your company, and your staff will feel appreciated and not feel restricted in their role. That's one. The next topic I'll be talking about is ethical consideration in recruitment and selection process. Ethical has a various of things companies and employees need to think and carry out into the business. This process is very vital because if you don't plan well, you will be wasting your time and money, hiring the wrong candidate, and applicants being misled into applying for the wrong job. Also need to consider and follow the equality and diversity law set out by the government. The recruiter in the company must treat applicants equally and fairly, no discrimination at all, and focus on relevant and job-related information regarding hiring decision. The applicant must ensure that their resume is accurately presented, make sure they know what the company accepts and expect of employment history verification, and know that they are responsible for publishing their resume, pictures, and other things expected from the company. A great ethical recruiter will manage information correctly for both companies and employees. The recruiter will also create a suitable profile for each post to make sure that the interviews is based on the correct scoring system and not on personality. This aims to give the best result, which must be match with the company and the individual to work together.
What is human resource management? According to Torrington, Atkinson, human resource management can be described in two ways. First, as the body of management activities, otherwise labeled as personnel management. An example of this would be determining under what type of contract different groups of employees will work, or planning out the employee packages that need to be recruited before recruiting. Determining the job opportunities, job perspectives. They make sure that positive relationships are kept between the organization and the supplier. Second is as management of people, which is different than personnel management because it involves being more subjective rather than objective. This is a way of carrying out people-oriented organizational activities. These specialists direct their energy into employees' well-being and happiness at a workplace, recruiting them and training them, arranging the pay, and basically keeping them happy. HR is also important in building reputation of the organizational as ethically and socially responsible. This is achieved in two ways. First, fostering an understanding of the ethical conduct on the managers and staff. Second, treating the staff well and gaining a reputation as a good employer. The responsibilities of a human resource manager fall into three major categories. First, staffing. Second, employee compensation and benefits. And the third one is defining and designing work. What is the main purpose of HR? HR is like a business partner that is responsible for the people working in certain organizations, and this would include first recruitment and succession planning. And in this part, the main goal of HR is finding people that have the right traits and knowledge to work in a specific job position, whereas succession planning is more interested in planning the career of the employee in that company. This would mean investing in the person more time, increasing their motivation, pay, and knowledge so they would become an even bigger asset to the company in the future. Second, learning and development is important when working in the HR because you constantly have to keep up the standards of the organization. So what is the purpose of human resource management? The first one is the staffing needs. If you ask absolutely anyone what human resource department does, the most common answer would be recruitment of staff. Because everyone that has gotten employed went through the interview and application process via HR department. HR has to be the one creating the adverts for the job vacancies, and therefore they need to lay out all the qualifications needed and the standards of skill that they're looking for. After this, there comes a screening process that includes looking at the applications, determining the most successful applicants, arranging interviews while working closely with managers, and after that, completing the employment process and documentation. The second one is payrolls. HR department is responsible for determining fair pay rates. They are involved in the promotion process. They deal with minimum wage, overtime payments according to the Fair Labor Standards Act. They provide assistance with payrolls and information. The third one is they are responsible for all the benefits that the employer receives when joining a company. The fourth one is health insurance, retirement plan, dental insurance. They deal with the maternity leave as well. The fifth one is they are in charge of monitoring in your performance. This is important when trying to determine promotions, retentions, terminations of contracts. HR department is responsible for the employees to be sure that the promotions are distributed properly. The sixth one is the safety in the workplace. So recruitment seems like an easy enough task once you look at it as simple step-by-step process, but it is quite difficult to find people that are suitable for the position that you are looking for. This is due to various labor markets. Employers always aim to hire the best, and in the meantime, the employees want to be hired by the best. Therefore, there will always be more applicants for one specific position. So labor markets function in economy due to demand and supply. So what are the key concepts of recruitment and selection? Recruitment process has to be fast and effective. To deliver an effective recruitment and selection process, there are steps to be followed. The first one is to determine the job analysis and to write down the description for all the applicants, as well as the personal specifications which you are seeking to find in the process. The second one, after the description, you need to attract the applicant through various sources, for example, LinkedIn, CV Library, or Caterer.com. The third one is to look through all these specifications and to find the best applicants. The fourth one is to make appointments and arrange interviews. This could be through one-on-one conversation, Skype, phone call, or email. The fifth one is the last step, and it is to help the applicant with the paperwork and to join the organization. So as an HR associate, you must consider the stages of recruitment and how they will have to be handled. For example, if you are hiring trial shifts, you will examine the applicants. It needs to be considered how much budget you can exhaust into hiring process, the time that you have to find the applicant and how much it's going to take to arrange that, the resources interview space, and the role of seniority. This will impact how much time and budget you can put into recruiting someone. If it's a higher role, you will invest more time and energy into a person. So there are many ways of recruiting. The first one is recruitment consultants, so specialists, search consultants, journals, press, local adverts, then open days, job centers, job fairs, referral schemes, apprenticeships, networking, internet, TV, radio, advertising, flyers, shop windows, station ads, educational establishments like universities or college, work business sites, internal progression of existing employees as well.